Hello campers, and welcome back to our whistle-stop tour of Scotland. We left you in our last video number 2, as darkness descended on Blackness. And, well, fortunately, in the morning, darkness lifted and Blackness was brought to light. And we checked out the local community notice board and checked out a few signs, although I'm not entirely sure that Saint-Tropez at 1,247 miles would have been the destination for most people in 1835. But moving on, we headed off sort of west and then north towards Stirling, and let's pick that up. This is the dashcam footage from our arrival in Stirling.
In 500 meters, turn right onto
I could have gone
Ballet
either way,
Road.
but anyway, no, I should have gone up and see. There you go, there's a better picture of Stirling Castle. All roads lead to Stirling Castle. Right, turning
Turn
here.
right onto Ballet Road.
Prior to roundabouts.
Continue for 1 kilometer.
You should come off the roundabout and then straight on to this. Moving twigs. Ah, we'll have to take the hard route, don't I? It's not that bad. Oh, we could park here for 4 hours. That sounds good. 4 hours for free. No wheel on it. I don't think so. I think you've got.
So, although we were heading for the coach parking at Stirling Castle, we decided to park up at the side of the road for, well, it was 4 hours for free. There's a nice little cemetery that we'll come back to, and this was actually where we were parked. We're literally right outside the castle. Obviously not at the entrance side, but this is maybe a view that not many people have seen of Stirling Castle, and I just love the size of those windows. Again, wonder how tall the people were that built that castle, because they certainly weren't 6 foot to be putting in windows like that. And so, yeah, so nice aerial view of Stirling Castle. And just I'll pan round and move round here. Jill was actually saying on a previous stop, we shouldn't actually just get out the van, just send the drone out and it can do all our viewing for us. We can just sit in the van and have a cup of tea and do all our viewing from the drone, which yeah. Well, anyway, so we had, while we were parked here at the side of the castle, we had thought about going up and round and into the car park in front of the castle, which is actually marked as a coach park. So I thought, great, coach park, plenty of space to park the van in there. And as I do the panoramic view around here, this is the car park, and as you can see, not a single coach in sight. All those spaces in the middle are designated coach parking. So I thought, great, and but we'll come back to that. This is a lovely, like I say, a rarely seen view of Stirling, and we had once arrived here, we thought, yeah, we'll stop here, we'll go and see the castle, and then we'll go into town and do some shopping. And but while we're here, in front of the cemetery here, we thought, well, we're both interested in like cemeteries and things like that. Go and have a look round. So we thought we'd pop over and stop at the cemetery before setting off further, after our cup of tea, of course. And then we thought we'd go up and go and see the castle. Like I say, there's very close parking to the castle there. We're at the bottom of that picture. And so, yep, we thought, right, we'll cup of tea, do the cemetery, and then we'll go and do the castle.
Ballingeich Cemetery, Stirling. Welcome to Ballingeich Cemetery. This cemetery has a magnificent aspect below the ramparts of the castle rock, and provides stunning viewpoints over Stirling to the Ochils in the north. Scottish folklore says that King James V used to leave the castle by an entrance on the North Castle Rock, disguising himself to mix with his subjects in Stirling and being known as the Good Man o' Ballingeich. On the 23rd of December 1886, Stirling Town Council agreed to pay the Crown Estate, Commissioners of Woods and Forests, £310 for the purchase of just over 3 acres of land comprising part of Gowan Hill next to Ballingeich Pass, to provide a 5th cemetery extension for the town and Church of the Holy Rood. The cemetery construction was a significant undertaking, with rock being quarried and topsoil from gardens in Dumbarton Road being transported uphill to reprofile the cemetery. In addition to stone sold, the council gifted 1,380 carts of stone to local beneficial trusts such as the Cowans Hospital Trust for local road building. The council commissioned new stone walls and iron railings, as well as 30 tons of red blaze from Oakley Bing for paths. The first interment was of a labourer's wife from the Raploch and was on the 11th of June 1888. The cemetery has 58 Commonwealth War graves, many from the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders who had their base in the castle. The east of the cemetery, by the wall closest to the town, section 05, there is an area of unmarked graves.
No backstreet drivers, please. They're like travelling on a train, you can't see what's in front, you only see what's inside.
In 200 meters, turn right onto Stirling Castle Esplanade.
So I don't know if you've seen our sign. Unfortunately, we don't allow motorhomes up front. So
Okay. Yeah, we can do. They allow coaches, but not motorhomes.
Kilchurn Castle, innit?
Yeah. That is just. Not even to bloody visit, because they presume you're going to park up and start cooking, and they don't want you to cook your own food. They want you to buy theirs, don't they?
Head southeast.
Sure. Yeah. Right, do you want to come up front? So,
So, after being turned away from yet another car park, just like we had in Edinburgh, we decided to actually not bother stopping in Stirling, and we took our business elsewhere. So, after a brief free stop at the loch, we decided to move on towards our final destination for the day, which was going to be Kilchurn Castle. I'm not going to bore you with the with the video of the route for another several hours, but here we go. Here's some drone footage from Kilchurn Castle. So on the way back from Kilchurn Castle, this is the view of our overnight parking, and there's a golf course in the middle of nowhere. To what's under there. So we stopped overnight, as I say, in this car park before setting off for Fort William in the morning. Now, Fort William is only about 58 miles from where we were, Kilchurn Castle, but we decided to head south and take in Inverary and go the scenic route, which added about another 75 miles to the journey. On arrival in Inverary, we found it very hospitable for motorhomes. There was specific motorhome parking, and because we were out of season as well, this was free. So we went and spent our money in the shops and had a look round. And here's some drone footage and some pictures of the shops, and the jail was very interesting, and there was a very large house in front of the jail, which some kind person told me was obviously the house of God. I nodded and thanked him and refused the Bible he was offering me. So heading south from Inverary, we stopped for lunch at Loch Lubnaig and then headed north for Fort William, taking in a very scenic route around Oban as the sat-nav decided to take us down a single lane track for about 10 miles or 16 kilometres, which was very interesting. I won't bore you again with the pictures. Once we got to Fort William, we made the decision to go and stop at a campsite. We chose the Linney Lochside Holidays campsite, which gave us the ability to hook up for the power, recharge our batteries, and also water supply, top up our water tank, and also to empty our cartridge from the toilet. This then is the drone footage from, as you can see, our lakeside aspect or lochside aspect, and this is the camp. As you can see, there are statics on there, so you could actually camp over in a static provided by them, or you could bring your own mobile home. And the site was clean, tidy and very quiet. Well, it would be, we're out of season, I guess. And as we pan round now, we're panning over now towards Fort William and Ben Nevis in the background there. And then I'll keep panning round, and as you can see, lovely lochside view we had. And eventually the clouds did clear overnight, and we got a good view of the Venus and Jupiter conjunction that happened at that time, and then in the morning I sent the drone up again, and here's some more drone footage from the loch, or over the loch, and you'll see the sun rising over Ben Nevis, and again very pleasant, and I would recommend stopping there.
Where's the fort? There is little sign nowadays of the fort which gave Fort William its name. However, there used to be a garrison here which played a key role in controlling the Highlands. General George Monk, leader of Oliver Cromwell's army in Scotland during the Civil War, built the original Inverloch fort in 1656. The location beside Loch Lubnaig, the Black Loch, allowed supplies to be brought in safely by sea. There was also easy access to potential Highland trouble spots. In 1690, General Hugh Mackay of Scurry was commander of King William's troops in Scotland. He rebuilt Monk's timber fort into a stone fort, named Fort William after the king. In 1692, the orders for the infamous massacre of Glencoe were issued from the fort. General Wade strengthened the fort further in 1725. The Jacobite army of Bonnie Prince Charles Edward Stuart, besieged it in 1746. However, the garrison brought in supplies by sea and the siege failed. The fort continued into the 1800s when local smugglers kept the soldiers busy. In 1889, the West Highland Railway Company bought the site of the fort to build its new railway station.
And there you go. Basically, there is no fort at Fort William, apart from this pile of bricks. Because, honestly, as we look round, note the build quality. I think there's only the section just at the top of your picture now that looks anywhere half decent, just on that far side of the green there. And as I fly around, you will notice that. I mean, I've seen better dry stone walls than this thing. It's not a fort. It might be on the site of the fort, on the footprint of the fort. Yes, I'll take that. But those walls are not original. The place has been destroyed, as we find with a lot of historical sites. But these walls, as we come down now, you will see they just do not compare to the build quality. Well, the probably build quality of the port side of Berwick-upon-Tweed, but certainly not the fortified walls. Unless they're saying, well, we didn't need to build these as thick because the Scots only had bows and arrows and daggers and what other BS they want to throw at you. But yeah, this is not the fortifications I was looking for, and by the end of the day, I will show you a far better site if you want to see it. Want to see what a real wall looks like. And there you go. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. Thanks.